All right, all right. We're the Brothers Great Stone here in Toronto, Canada, under the banner of GMS. Want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shaddai,
Shai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem, Bakakwadash.
Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, to you elders and bishops who rule well. Salutation to all the believers. Once again, the Spirit is on us to do a quick lesson as touching the humble beginnings of the hatred between the two fraternal brothers, mainly Esau and Jacob. What you're seeing is now being played out through the spirits, right? It's wrestling, if you will, right? Best believe it had a humble beginning. Here in the book of Genesis, right? Genesis it's the beginning, right? Where Esau made a clear and concise, right, thought to what? Do harm, which is by way of murder, his brother Jacob. Okay. So let's start the book of Genesis 27 and 41.
All right, this is the book of Genesis 27 and verse 41, and it reads, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him."
That's right. So it's not about a skin color. So that you can get it out of your mind right now, thinking that the so-called hate you because, well, he says black, but really and truly our lying eyes, okay, tells us we got brown skin. Variations. There's no such thing as black people walking around this earth, man. You know, there's the hue can be so brown, deep brown, right? It looks, you know, as if that would be the case, but people are brown skin. Okay, and there's no such thing as white people. Okay, snow is white, and you don't see people with that hue walking around. All right, the so-called white man is coming in a variation of pink and red, rosy cheeks. All right, read on.
And Esau said in his heart,
In his mind, that word mind, lav, I think in Latin or in Spanish, right? They put the V sound with a B sound. So it's like a lab. So where all the concussion, all the thoughts is created, right? So it's kind of the spirit that word love means your mind would sound like lab if a Hispanic person would say it. Your lab, your mind, right? That's where he's concocted all his wickedness, man, because that's where the spirit resides. Read on.
it says, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand."
That's right. So, you know, he was, you know, pretending he has a heart of, you know, sorrowful heart, which, you know what, he too was given directions by Isaac, what's correct and what's incorrect. So even though he's right there, it might seem, you know, to the unlearned, as Esau had a heart that tend to do right, he was always set up in the spirit to be what? The wicked. And as we'll get into it as the lessons go on. Go ahead.
"Then I will slay my brother Jacob."
And that sentiment carries on today, right? It didn't just stop. And it doesn't stop at him doing so by a literal sword, like, you know, like hand-to-hand combat, a sword and being the swordsman. That's a part of it, right? But this is where the trickery resides. You know, you're always looking for somebody, you know, with a literal gun, right? Literal, you know, back in slavery days, you know, a man with a rope and big trees trying to hang you. But the Bible says the serpent was most subtle of all the beasts in the field. And we know that's a way of saying beasts are people that don't adhere to the law. So the most I see them as beasts. Okay. But out of all the beasts, the serpent, right, is the most subtlest. And now it's been made known to us through the spirit that the most I wasn't talking about literal animals. It was people. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he was given the love, the mind, the heart to be subtle, right, and to usurp authority for a time. All right. So not only will he literally come out and boldface kill his brother Jacob, but through his litigations, court proceedings, his statutes, right, his laws. You see, because the law is his power. When he makes something lawful and unlawful, a lot of times it'll come out where you see an Edomite or what appears to be Edomite and a brown skin, most likely Jake, get charged for the same crime, but the sentences is different. Where you're like, hey man, you know, that ain't right. How come he got that and he got this? Usually the Jake, you know, get like 9 life sentences, and this one get a slap on the wrist. The Edomite gets a slap on the wrist. You know, so that killing is done very sublimely. Grape soda. You know, Jake, you know, love grape soda and, you know, and fruit punch and Kool-Aid. That's a thing that gives you diabetes. You see?
That's a weapon.
That's right. Right. So it wasn't just one way of him pulling, you know, his brother apart and killing him. There's many ways. And like I said, it started back then, but it carries over to even today.
That's where you have the term perpetual hatred.
That's right. That's right. I think that's in bring it out, Ezekiel.
Yeah, Ezekiel 35:5.
Come on, bring it out.
This is Ezekiel 35:5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity.
That's right.
In the time that their iniquity had an end.
And that word perpetual means never ending. Right? So you see, we start in the book of Genesis, and what he said back then in the beginning, like I said, carries over today. It doesn't end, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Pretty much, it's just showing you that there's a generational, just like there's generational curses. This is a generational perpetual hatred that the Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has for the children of Israel. Right. This is where you get Psalms 83 comes in. Right. These people will forever be your enemy because they have a perpetual hatred, and we see the hatred right now taking center stage in Babylon the Great, America, and in Canada. In fact, everywhere around the world.
Everywhere in the world, man. You know?
Yeah.
You know, that spirit's been, remember, you know, he's put out different articles, right? Different novels, made movies, right? That's a part of killing, right? You mentioned Psalm 83 where it says he has taken crafty counsel. That's a part of the crafty counsel, and all the nations are in it.
Let's dissect it real quick. So you just mentioned Psalms 83 where they took crafty counsel against thy people and against thy hidden ones. We are so hidden that it's like that hatred, that perpetual hatred that they have has destroyed our culture. It has destroyed our nationality. We are just now coming back into remembrance of who we are, right? Because of the hatred that these people have for us, right? You go into Mexico, there's a certain people that's hidden in Mexico, in Argentina, like every country you go to, even in Palestine right now, where they're sinking the people under the ground. There's a set of people there who are hidden, dark people, right? Yeah, man.
And it's like a brother. Make sure we're not here to most times people say dark skinned people. So we gotta always make that, because you know people think that we're trying to say that everybody's dark skinned, right? But the majority that will be the complexion of the people that's been hidden, right?
Let me bring this down because
because that's a part of the slaying as well. Like calling the people black is killing them off, and then we're going to a thing called paper genocide. Maybe we can look at see the phrase called paper genocide.
Yep.
But I'm sure well, in the meantime, bring out what you can bring out.
Yeah, kind of, because you mentioned it, how Isa can give you a nice life in jail, sentence, whatever you want to call it. So this is the book of Psalm 73.
Mhm.
I'll start from 3 to 4, and 4 is the point.
Mhm.
Also, 4 and 5, Psalm 73 and 4.
Mhm.
But there are no bands in their depths. So just let me read to the point. They are not in trouble as other men,
Mhm.
neither are they plagued like other men. So
Mhm.
going to Isa, he could go murder 100 people,
Mhm.
and he won't go to jail for
Mhm.
he's always get away with murder. And on top of that,
Like a who went to jail for dropping the bomb in Hiroshima, Nagasaki,
Mhm.
right? Who went to jail for what's happening right now? Like we don't get involved in politics, but who went to jail for that? That's a lot of murder, man. It's like brother. Go ahead. It's like go ahead.
Kind of blood in your hands.
But even the what you call it, weapons of mass destruction
Yep.
in Iraq, there was
Mhm.
none there. It showed it. They was proven by their own
Yep.
people that they lied.
Khan.
1
Mhm.
million Iraqis died.
Khan.
Mhm.
Nobody went to jail.
That's right.
Mhm.
And brother Ashar brothers, they're not in trouble like other men,
Mhm.
right? Like you're in a fight with somebody, like a regular fist fight, and by accident you might punch the guy and the guy kind of bumped his head. You're in trouble for manslaughter, man. And it depends on what you can afford. You might get a life sentence. You know what I mean? For something that happened by accident. When these men sit there with his top generals and have precise missiles where you're gonna drop this, they call it shock and awe. I think that's what it was called. Desert Storm. They have all these fancy names for murder.
Yep.
You know.
Mhm.
So you Edomites, man, like that war wicked spirit that was given to you, it's not been pointed out, right? We're making it known who you are and that your mind has not changed because that's your office. Your office is to be what? The murderer, the red-handed, red-blooded, right, like murderer, man. You've been
Got
caught
you.
red. Got you. Yeah.
Got you red-handed.
God, red-handed, man. You got blood on your hands, man. Like literally. See what I mean? That paper genocide.
Yeah, I got it right here. It says paper genocide, meaning paper genocides refer to the erasure or destruction of a people's identity through laws, official documents,
Right.
or bureaucracy,
That's right.
rather than through physical violence. Instead of killing people with weapons, government or institution erase them on paper by changing their ethnicity, nationality, or status in records.
Black people, Hispanics, Jamaicans, Barbadians. What are those? Right? So it says the serpent was the most subtlest of all the beasts. So subtly, he pretended that, right, he's doing us justice and it isn't give us your history. That's why every February, every February, you have Black History Month.
Yep.
Right? We know what we know now. We know that this man is not for our turn. So the history that's giving us is for demise. It's not to lift us up because it has nothing to do with what's called truth. Right? And it tells you paper genocide. So here you're calling yourself black, right? And have brown people making catchy phrase, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, right? And have children singing and repeating this lie and being brainwashed, right? I said brain dirtied, right? To believe a lie. Okay? And see, give some examples.
You want me to read it?
Go ahead.
It says Native Americans, let me go. Examples of paper genocide. Native Americans in the US, many were reclassified on census records as black or colored.
Wow. That's saying a lot. It said the Native Americans, right? That's what chat says, right? We're as black.
Yep.
Who do you know as black people? Keep reading.
Mm-hmm.
Or what colored?
Effectively erasing native ancestry from official recognition.
Mhm.
Indigenous people, Caribbean and Latin America, colonial powers recorded them under the different categories, erasing their heritage.
All right. You know, we're never going further, man. You see?
Yeah.
So Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, what he said back in Genesis carried over today, but very subtly, sublimely. And in Psalm 83, where it spoke of our enemies, it says, so that the name of Israel may
Yep.
no more be in remembrance. So
I got it
him
here.
saying, oh, yeah, bring it, read it.
Psalms 83 and verse
Mhm.
4. It
Mhm.
says, they have said,
Mhm.
come and let us cut them off from being a nation,
Mhm.
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Hence the topic. The topic is like, I will slay my brother Jacob.
Mhm.
Right? So you want to erase the fact that they even exist. There are even
So-
such a people called Israelites.
Yeah. Salakia, today, funny enough that today you and I were talking about that in the morning.
Khan.
And then Ashar contacted me in the evening and said, yo, let's do a lesson on this.
It's a
And
spirit.
then now we're speaking about the same exact thing.
Khan.
And we mentioned that in Edom, Esau didn't physically kill off the Israelites,
Mhm.
but in their culture, he has eradicated them. Their
Mhm.
nationality, he have eradicated them. He has destroyed them to the point that we didn't know who we were until as of recent.
Khan.
Right? So now we're coming back into remembrance, which is exactly what you're saying. So the spirit is here, man.
That's right. And when you want to remove electricity from like say a TV, a plug, which is a power source, you pull the plug. The thing called pull the plug, which means you kill it. Like it's a kill switch. So the
Yep.
kill switch was to remove our power, which is who? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Mhm.
That's mainly how he killed us and give us who? Jesus. Give us Allah. Because a lot of people are into that bugged out doctrine, Islam, right? So-called Christianity, which everything that started, the apostle brought it out, everything that came out from the Council of Nicaea was all bugged out shit. None of it was good, right? Because what? The book was closed, right? The book was closed. The book Bible says Daniel closed the book until the end. That wasn't the end. The end is now, starting with the elder Abba Bivens and our apostles on down. Now we know the end because what? The book has been opened up, right? And now we're getting the true revelation that John penned. We're now understanding what was written. Let me get this real quick. Book of Psalms 133. Where is it? Psalms.
You know what you're looking for? Let me see about
I think Psalms 119. Yeah, Psalms 119. No. Yeah, Psalms 119, 100. Bring it out.
Yeah, I got it here. This is Psalms.
Start at 99. Psalms 100, Psalm 119, 99.
Okay, yes, it says Psalms 119 and 99. I have more understanding than all my teachers, for thy testimonies are my meditation.
And our teachers, those Christian pastors, man, right? Everyone outside is truth. That's who we're listening to. So now we have more understanding than all them teachers, man. Grandma, right? She's now null and void. Read 100.
Verse 100. I understand more than the ancient, because I keep thy precepts.
That's right. You see,
Yep.
now we know through the precepts we get understanding.
Gone.
Yep.
You see? So this is what now been revealed to us, the servant, the prophets. It was always us, but we're asleep at one point. So now we're waking up and pointing out the so-called white men as what? The evil on the earth, the wicked of the earth, right? The humble beginnings, the root of wickedness, man. Not saying other nations and people within Israel aren't wicked, but it has a beginning, as a root. You see? Yes, yes. So yes, so that was a part of the I will kill my brother Jacob. The
Mhm.
removing, the blotting out, the name changing, the switching of powers, right? Because we know it first starts with Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. So once we call an end of God, the most I won't deal with us.
Mhm.
The man's slick. He's a eater, man. Right? Okay. Jeremiah 17, real quick. Jeremiah 17 and 9. I think.
Jeremiah 17.
9, yeah. 4. So, 4. It's like a 4.
Jeremiah 9:4.
All right. You got it, Ashar?
Yeah, I
I
got
got
it.
it here.
So Jeremiah 9:3.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, take ye heed, everyone
sorry.
with his name.
It's like
No.
17, 17 and 4.
17.
You said 1917?
No,
No,
Jeremiah
17 and 4.
and 4.
Oh, so like 17 and 4. It reads, and thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy heritage that I give thee,
Mhm.
and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies.
Mhm.
Then, so like things are echoing in the background of my end.
Come on.
I can read it. You could pop mute yours. I'll read it. It says, and thou even thyself shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For he have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
And it doesn't mean forever and ever and never and never ever. Right? It just the Most High is telling what the Israelites through Jeremiah that they're going to be discontinued, right, from their heritage. Hence the term black, right? Hence the killing off. So it's all in the spirit. So everything Esau has been doing is that the creatures, right, was made subject to vanity, and man's going after the Lord. So Esau is not man and not a God. So everything that he's doing was put in his mind, in his love, right, in his spirit to do so. The Bible says he's the Most High sword, right? So we pissed the Most High off, right? And this is what our payback was. You see? So we're just pointing out that we know who's behind all, these articles. Matter of fact, get our word article in the etymology of the verb.
Yeah, I got it here already.
Mm-hmm.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to read it, or you want to read it?
Yeah, I read it. It says article, articulate, right? 1590s, to divide speech into distinct parts, right? So it's not by, don't you think by chance, it may be distinctful, right? They gotta be exact. And in bracket, it says earlier in now obsolete sense to formally bring charges against. You see? And who's known for bringing trumped up charges, right? Hence the word article, the word artillery, right? That word art, and like remember in the Renaissance period, he would destroy the art because the art was what showed who the people of rulership were, right? It showed a lot of things during his rebirth. So he removed a lot of the art, right? And a period of iconoclasm where he would change, right, the faces, the color, right, of the people who stand before him. Not saying they were righteous people, but it had a lot to do with the future plans. Okay, and the plan was about destruction, destroy the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, and that's why you have like I said, articles written about he found us in Africa, butt naked with bones in our nose. The so-called black people are all on welfare. When you do your own research, not just listen to like a fool, right? Because he's a fool, Charlie Kirk, giving some stats, and you just take it at his word. Yeah, you look it up. He's smart. That's part of the mind shed, right? When an Edomite speak, right, he's all these unfamiliar words, so you hold him like, oh, this guy's educated.
What we see going on, is so what's going on right now. It happened before where they erase stuff because right now the dude Elon Musk, what he's doing, he's actually erasing the actual stats from his platform and spreading the false propaganda what you just spoke about. So he's erasing the truth and putting lies there so people can continue to believe lies. So they're trying to change the course of really what really happened in history.
Of course.
Right?
Right. Because the apostle always says, to tell a lie, you have to know the truth. And especially in this case, right? Because it's beneficial for him to lie, right, about what's truthful, because it propels him into a place of rulership and keeps him there. You see? Hence the term, the Bible speaks of never trust an enemy, right? Your neighbor, Esau was the neighbor to Jacob, because the word neighbor, when you go and actually break it down, right, it'll take it back to brothers, right? So Esau was Jacob's brother. And the Bible says, never trust thine enemy. In the book of Sirach, can I bring that out?
I'm trying to find the article real quick. Asha, can you find it?
Sirach 12 and 10. So read down to about, I think, 14.
So this is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. And it reads, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is its weakness.
Keep reading.
Verse 11, thou he humble himself and go crouching, yet take a good heed and beware of him.
So that was warning. Say, now that we're in the truth and we know who our enemies are, right? We're going to adhere to the scriptures now. Okay? We've been given the clarity of how to move, how to be distinctive about our choices, right? We have no business talking about an Edomite is your best friend. All right. Once, through the spirit, you realize this is an Edomite, you have to now take counsel from wise men. And wise men can be found all throughout the scriptures, man. Our ancestors, our forefathers, what would they say about this situation? All right. And it's clear to state. Read it again, but the last part.
Yeah, take good heed and beware of him, and thou to be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou should know that his wrath had not been altogether wiped away.
Read 12.
Verse 12, say him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee.
See, when he has overthrown thee, which means that's going to occur, man. Remember, he's your enemy. He's seeking to destroy you. That was his mindset in the book of Genesis. It started from the beginning. And you in Ezekiel with a perpetual hatred, right? So it is never ending at no point. Keep reading.
And read, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at any right hand. So
don't this term, my right hand man. You can't trust this man, because at some point, right, he usurped authority. Because at one point, Esau Edom was null and void. He was a waste man, right? He was always powerful. When the Roman Empire fell, okay, he was not really found. Brown people were ruling under the banner of Moors, right? A bunch of different names, right? Moors being dominant, right? But there were kings, right, ruling different countries who are brown-skinned people. Right? A lot of our people were in rulership position. Right? We know that in the book of in the Apocrypha, it says the 10 tribes came over to what called the New World. Things was being built up, things was happening. There was an economy, but Edom made it seem like it was only a bunch of trees, right? And people living in tents. When now the history's coming out showing a different view of how things were.
Can I jump into a stat real quick?
Go ahead.
Do a video real quick. Just show it. Let me know if you could hear it too when it starts playing.
So now Elon Musk is deleting people's tweets who point out FBI-proven data about white people committing crimes. This is farther proof that he does not care about free speech whatsoever. He cares about pushing his own narrative. So here's what got deleted. She says, despite making up only 28% of the USA population, FBI data shows that white men are 55% of kidnappers, 56% of rapists, 58% of mass unalivers, and you get the point. There's the rest of it. She says this tweet got deleted without any explanation whatsoever. It's because Elon doesn't want us to see the truth. For those who don't follow him on Twitter, he is constantly posting about how black people are committing crimes against white people and that white people are oppressed. Here's the issue. These numbers are coming from official FBI data, so it's not an opinion, it is a fact, and Elon Musk is actively suppressing the truth. This should worry all of us. Elon Musk claimed to take over Twitter because he wanted to spread the truth and free speech. Everyone should be able to say whatever they want, but that's not been the case at all. In reality, he's the one that's getting to pick and choose what gets to stay on his platform and what doesn't, and obviously he's choosing the stuff that fits his own narrative. People have the
Yeah, that's it, man. Just to show you the deceptive nature of this
That's
devil,
right. That's right.
right? And it's in him, you know, because now he's pretty much pushing his own agenda, right? Just like the dude that just got taken out. That's what he was doing.
That's right.
He wasn't speaking the truth. He was speaking lies, right? Which is exactly what this guy's doing. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that out real quick. Salakia.
Yeah, I would slay my brother Jacob. So that those articles, those findings, goes into the sublime nature of what he meant by killing my brother Jacob, right? Because you're erasing a people's characteristics by your stats, you know, of how they are. Black men people don't take care of their kids, you know, which is true. A lot of black men don't do that, and that's part of the curses. But there's a lot of brothers who are about being fathers, right? And sticking by their children. They don't talk about that. And a lot of so-called white people, what they say about us is actually them, but it's not reported that way. You see? Let me just real quick. The book of I saw you had something.
No, I was gonna finish it up.
You finish it. Yeah.
And it reads, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Okay, be pricked by what? Not listening, right? So the so-called white man is going to take full advantage of a situation, right, of your stupor, right? You being rebellious and hard-headed and stiff-necked, man, right? So that's why, again, us were set up to what? Bring forth truth, bring forth clarity to the believers, not to everybody. You see? Cameron, so like Cameron and what's his face? They're trending now. Damon Dash is trending on TikTok about who's broke and who's woke and who's who's the fact. Listen, man, that's some like things, you know, we don't take part in, like debate. Debate. You know, to us, it's funny that you have grown-ass men talking about another man is broke. If the man is broke, help him out. He's your brother, no? Right? Support him. Jake think it's a good thing to say, brother, I'm struggling and that's broke. Yeah, he can't have no food to eat. Right? And that's Esau's spirit on them. You see? So the brother Mayan brought something out, and I'm going to read this precept real quick. The book of Obadiah 1:6, and it says, King James, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? And that you got these meddling, you know, believers, Israelites, you know, searching the net and showing him, telling on themselves, man, right? They said the Egyptians should turn against the Egyptians. Right, and Egypt was a metropolis where it was like a lot of different nationalities living there, wanted to be Egyptians, kind of like America today. You come here wanting to be an American, right? Because a lot of people looking different call themselves Americans, which means it's not a nation, right? Nation would be a lineage, but the confusion is they're thinking that because you're born in a place, it makes you that place. Like, listen, man, if a cow is born in a horse stable, does it make the cow born in the horse stable a horse? You see? So that's the mindset people have. They think people are stupid, and the confusion has been pushed forth from Esau Edom, man. Right? And it's a part of the slaying. Right? So everything that's been done is carefully scrutinized and best believe some serious counseling went on about how we're gonna get rid of these people. And I said there's something called friendly fire in war, right? So he knows he's gonna lose some of his men in the process of trying to get rid of us, but it's impossible. The book of Jeremiah, it says if you can erase, if you, let me get it. I don't want to butcher it. Jeremiah 31. I'll bring it out. Jeremiah 31. Come on. Jeremiah 31 and 35 says, "Thus saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divide the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, if the heaven above can be measured, and the foundation of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, says Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai." So it's impossible. We're always going to be the Lord's chosen people, man. But on this side, the believers, the one that adhere to the laws and commandments and apply them to their daily lives, right? First and foremost, the name. First and also alongside the belief of what the MOTB is and what it isn't. Those are signs of showing, like, is the Lord dealing with the man? Because you come and tell me that the MOTB is not what the Bible says it is, what the understanding is. I know I'm not supposed to deal with you.
That's right.
You know, you're of the devil. This means you're the deceiver. You know, you're the father that you're under that disbelief. Okay, so we know what to look, because it's a spiritual battle. You see. So back into I was slaying my brother Jacob. So we read out Jeremiah 9:4, right? I want to bring this one. Where is it? Slander your own mother. Yeah, it's Psalm 50, 20 to 21. Psalm 50.
Psalms 50,
Yeah.
20
to 21.
And 21.
20 and 21, yeah.
Psalms 15, 21 and 21. Okay? These things have thou done as I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that as altogether.
No. Psalms 20 and 21. Select, brother. Psalms 20, start 20 and read 21 as well.
So wait, you said Psalms 20?
No, Psalms 50
on verse 20. Okay.
Yeah, come on. And 21 as well.
So it started 20.
Yeah.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother.
That's in their counsels, man. Right. So you notice the thing that we're not privy to see what goes behind closed doors. And Psalm 83 said that they're in crafty counsel. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is pointing what they're doing in secrecy. Right? So we read him at the top.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Because we came from the same mother, man. Esau and Jacob were fraternal twins. Isaac being their father. 21. These
things hast thou done, and I kept silence.
Because prophecy has to be fulfilled. So the Most I pretend like, he's about it, right? You know, in Malachi 1, it says, wasn't Esau, Jacob, where you said you love thee?
Malachi.
Go to it real quick and come back there.
I have it here.
Go ahead. You guys start from the top.
It says, I'm starting from verse 2.
Go ahead.
It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yet he say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragon of the wilderness.
That's right. So the Most High clearly states who he hates and who he loves. But you would think the Most High is done with us, like as Esau thought, because of what we went through. Right? We said, God don't love us, man. And that's a lot of people rebelled and said there's no God. And because of God, why all these wicked things happen to us? Because they're spiritually deficient. Right? Their acumen, as pertaining to spirituality, it's null and void.
Mhm.
right? We've been given the understanding correctly of how the scripture should be interpreted, right? And a digestion is required. You got to eat this roll, right, and digest it, right? Which is what we have done through the Spirit.
Mhm.
So back in Psalm 50 and 21,
It reads, "Thou doffest that I was altogether such an one as thyself,
Mhm.
but I will reprove thee
Mhm.
and set them in order before thy eyes."
and that's what you see right now, man. This is man have a coined term, order out of chaos. The
Mhm.
order doesn't come through the men first and foremost. So what he's seeing is like unbelievable. This is incredulous to see what Israelites, so-called black men and Hispanics and men of different color because of the speckled birds, right, coming together, right, in unison, right, in one accord. And the accord of what is a praise to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai, right, doing our holy days, right, to the best of our ability, because we know it's a rehearsal. So sometimes some things we might not get 100% right, but the Most High is winks at it, right? You know, it said the Most High see us, you know, in like a state of like stupor, like whatever, you know, we're not really getting, but he winks at it. Oh, I get why they're doing that like that. You see, but what the effort is there. Just simple thing as making a video, right? It might not be like exactly how Yahweh Shai wants it, but what the effort is there. The spirit is willing.
Mhm.
At what point this becomes a sort of foolishness, man? Just imagine, like, say, 20 years ago, you walked in and somebody talking, you know, and so what are you guys talking about? You know, anyways, man, you know, it's a Sabbath night. It's Sabbath Smabbeth. You know what I mean? We know tonight is sundown at the Sabbath, and we believe that wholeheartedly to the point where like, you know, Jake loves sex, and it doesn't matter. Yo, that now go on tonight, you know. And sometimes that's when the demon jump in and say, yo, tonight. And then guess what? Sometimes back to back. It's man, you see what I'm saying? Right. So, so the spirit now is now willing to what? Be humble, right, and ask for forgiveness, and be willing to what? Be lowly. Right. That's the spirit that most has given us. We have put up that old man that was rebellious nature of being a Gentile mind state. We're trying to be like what? As our ancestors being Israelites. He, Prince, power. We can be representatives of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. Con. Was it in that?
Was it on that?
Okay. Then I'm a priest brother want to bring up because I think the point's been made. I don't know if you brothers have anything.
I got one.
Okay, Con. Go ahead.
Yeah. Finish Malachi 1:4.
Con, go ahead.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness. And the
So
people
anywhere this man is, wickedness exudes from there, man. It doesn't matter if it's only one of them. Best believe some wickedness is happening. Right? If you can go and be a fly on the wall at an Edomite's house and to see the things that these mofos do, man, you be like, damn. Right? Because they are the wicked.
Yeah.
And that's why they were given that, you know, that facial expression, right, to calm you down. Like, hey, how are you? Everything okay? And then it kind of throw you off now, because if he was coming to you straight on, like, I'm your enemy, you know, you'd be more ready for it. But nobody's more polite than an Edomite, man. You know? What you say, Maya?
finishing off. It says, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. Right.
So
And
this, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is because of that perpetual hatred, man.
God, I was saying the spirit. Go ahead.
Yeah. That perpetual hatred that you have for your brother, the Most High has that indignation for you, man.
That's right.
And indignation, it just means righteous judgment. Right? I got one more for you, and then Asha, you can get yours. This is Obadiah 1 verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even though it was as one of them. Right? So even though you Edomite, you were rejoicing and you were happy that these things happened to the Israelite man, you know, you're gonna get your comeuppance, you know, for exactly what you did to the children of Israel, your brother, right? So that hatred that you have, you're gonna have to pay for it, man.
And it says, even though I think he said that even though he's one of them. So that's in, I think, the Babylonian captivity, when we're going down, we're being cast off by the Most High. You're a part of that, man, right? You're a part of that. You're killing off our old, you know, you're in the back, right? So our old that couldn't, you know, they weren't as spry as everybody else. You're stabbing them up, killing our kids, you know, our babies. Right? When what? You were our brother, man. You came out of Rebecca and Isaac. Right? But you said, hey, I'm gonna kill my brother Jacob. And again, to this day, it carries over from that perpetual hatred right to today. So any Jake, right, that's not been made aware, right? The Most I don't like you, that's your enemy. This is my best friend. We know we went to the same high school together. Yeah, man. If that's an Edomite, who can pity a charmer, man? When the snake bites you. You see? Actually, you had something?
Just to summarize the lesson we went through, something that is crooked or twisted, whether you want to put it in, you cannot make it straight.
That's right.
And Esau was built as a weapon. So here's the book of Ecclesiastes 1:15. Is the point: that which is crooked cannot be made straight.
So you can't save him, right? You can't make him one of us, one of the righteous, right? Because the Most High made him that way, right? The Most High have given him over to be what? The antagonist of the protagonist. Protagonist being who? The 1/3, the true believers, right? So he was always set up to be what? A hindrance to what is right. He was always made to be adverse. Hence the term Satan, the adversaries, satanic, right? They're ones that what give us, make sure we have adversities. You going to get that job, and here, no, we're just not hiring anymore, right? Or they bring another people all together and repopulate and giving all those corporate jobs, all those just regular jobs, like say McDonald's. At one point, as a so-called black man, you'd think, hey, at 16, my child can go get a job and learn how to go in the real world. Now that's obsolete because he's changed the look, right, the infrastructure of the people. So and those people are for themselves. They're about nation building.
That's right.
You know,
they are.
We have not a chance in hell. Literally, this is hell. Not a chance in hell, man. That phrase goes, not a chance in hell. That's really pertaining to us. We have no chance in hell. So we have to wait for Yahweh Shai to come and send the Savior, Yahweh Shai, to come and rescue us, man. You know? Go ahead.
And that which is one thing cannot be numbered.
That's right, man. You know, so again, that's the so-called white men, right? There's so many of them, right? Seeking our downfall, seeking our demise, because that's the office that they were given, right? The Most High has set him being what the Most High sword. I think it's Psalms 17 and verse 13. You know, when the psalmist says, disappoint the wicked, which is thy sword, right? So Edom, man, like that murdering spirit of then I will kill my brother Jacob transcends from the book of Genesis all to the Revelation, all the way until Yahweh Ba'ashim Yashai comes back. So yeah, that's it on that for me.
Yeah, I'm good too.
All right. So we're going to close out on this sitting. I give all praises and glory to Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai,
Bahashem, double honors to the apostles, you elders, you bishops of Great Millstone, who we've learned this truth from. Peace and blessings with all sincerity to you brothers that do this work, which are the true believers. It's about, well, the Sabbath comes in tonight, so when it comes in, it's Shabbat Shalom when it comes in, and don't forget it comes again. It changes over tomorrow night at sundown. So it's basically back to back. So it's tonight to sundown tomorrow, then Sunday in the daytime. You know, you can do what you want to do. Then Sunday night it changes to Sunday, Monday.
That's right.
Correct? Fine. All right.
Yeah.
So, shalom to the believers.
Shalom.